You ever feel like you're doing everything right? Thinking positive, putting in all the work, but you're just not getting anywhere? It's that frustrating feeling of spinning your wheels but making no progress. Well, it turns out there's a very real reason for that. And today we're going to break down not just why it happens, but how to finally get unstuck. All right, so let's dig into that feeling of being stuck. And it all starts with this really simple but kind of perfect analogy. So think about it. You've got two kinds of journeys here. One is a car just burning rubber, right? It's all smoke and noise, but it's totally stuck. And then you've got the other one, just cruising effortlessly down this beautiful open road. Which one would you rather be in? Yeah, I think we all know the answer. But for so many of us, life feels, well, it feels a lot like that first car. And this right here, this question just nails the problem, doesn't it? Does it ever feel like you're driving with one foot slammed on the gas and the other one just as hard on the brake? It's this crazy internal tug of war. You burn a ton of fuel, a ton of energy, but you stay right in the same spot. So, okay, what's really going on inside? What's causing this engine conflict? Let's pop the hood and see what's happening. You know that classic image of an iceberg? It's actually a perfect way to think about our minds. The tiny little tip you can see above the water, that's your conscious mind. That's where all your positive thoughts and your big goals live. But the real power, the massive part hidden deep underwater, that's your subconscious. And this internal fight, this whole accelerator versus brake thing, it's all happening right there in that hidden part of ourselves. Okay, let's break this down even more. Think of your conscious mind as the driver. It's got the map, it knows the destination, and it's flooring the accelerator saying, let's go, I want to succeed. But there's a hidden passenger in the back, and that's your subconscious. And it's secretly got its foot on the emergency brake. Why? Because it's holding on to all this other stuff. Old hurts, fears you don't even know you have, these limiting beliefs that are just terrified of change. And that's the real issue, right? This total mismatch between what we think we want and what we secretly deep down feel. So clearly, just pushing the gas pedal harder isn't going to work. It's just going to create more smoke. So what's the alternative? Well, it's not about fighting yourself. It's about finding harmony. And there's a whole process for this. It's called the Watto process, which basically means the harmony process. And the core idea is a total game changer. Instead of trying to crush or ignore all those negative feelings, you accept them, you integrate them. The goal isn't to win a fight. It's to get all parts of you on the same team so you can finally take your foot off that brake and just move. This is where so many of us go wrong. We're completely obsessed with the fruit on the tree, our goals, the end result, and we get so frustrated when we can't just grab it. But this shows us that's not how it works. Real, lasting change starts way down in the roots. That's self-acceptance, acknowledging all that subconscious stuff. Once those roots are strong, you can build a solid trunk. That's your self-affirmation. And then, and only then, does the fruit, self-actualization, grow like naturally. It's not something you force. It's a result of having strong roots. Okay, so this all sounds amazing, right? But how do you actually do it? Like, what are the practical steps for navigating this inner world of ours? Well, there's a toolkit for that. All right, so one of the main tools here is something called Cocoro cards. Cocoro is Japanese for heart or mind, and these cards are basically a map to your inner life. Think of them like a GPS for your soul. They have different words and images that represent all these different emotions and states of being. The whole point is to make the invisible visible. They help you pinpoint exactly what's pushing your accelerator and, more importantly, what's hitting your brakes. So once the cards help you find one of those hidden brakes, you don't just stare at it. No way. You actually do something about it. That's where self-work comes in. These are specific exercises designed to help you gently release that brake. And notice I said gently. This isn't about forcing anything. It's about practical things like visualization or emotional processing that let you acknowledge the block, understand it, and then finally let it go. So let me walk you through a really simple but incredibly powerful example of this. It's called the letting go exercise. I want you to just imagine, right now, holding a clear, empty ball in your hands. Now think of a negative feeling, a memory, a worry, and start pouring it into that ball. Just breathe it in there. And as you do, feel that ball get heavier. See it getting darker and darker. Keep going until it feels almost too heavy to hold. And right at that moment, you make a decision. You say, out loud if you want, I don't need this anymore. And you just release it. Let it go. Watch it float away and disappear. The key here is you're not fighting the feeling. You're giving it your full attention, honoring it, and then you're choosing to let it go. All right, so as we start to wrap this up, let's really lock in the big idea here, because it's a total 180 from how we usually think about getting ahead in life. If you take away just one thing today, please let it be this. That feeling of being stuck, of spinning your wheels and going nowhere, the answer is not more willpower. It is absolutely not about pushing that accelerator harder. Real freedom, the kind that lets you cruise down that open road, it's about having the courage to finally look at what's holding you back, to accept it, and then, gently, to just release the brake. So I want to leave you with a question to carry with you. Just think about it as you go about your day. What's one break in your life? Just one. A small limiting belief, a fear, a recurring feeling? What's one break that you could just start to ease your foot off of starting today?